Canada, Mexico. We've got kids from Great Britain, Finland, Switzerland. We know France is in the house, Germany, kids from all over the world. Welcome. It's me, Joni Wilson, and Roxy Rue for your 8 p.m. storytelling time of my book series called The Dog Rescuers. And little Roxy Rue is quite tired because we had a really long walk around the lake today. So I'm already going to start tucking her into bed because she seems to be an early go to bed type of dog. And she likes it when I read to you guys because that puts her to sleep too. So I'm going to go ahead and put her to bed. And in the meantime, go ahead and let your parents just tuck you into, or if you're just kind of watching in your living rooms, and you're just kind of having your late night snack before bed, that's pretty cool too. I love snacks. So I'm pretty excited because we finished book 1 last night, The Dog Rescuers, Kiddo Trains a Rescuer. Tonight we start book 2, which is called Purrfectly Unleashed. If you missed everything in book 1, you can actually go back on my Facebook page under Joni Wilson, and you are welcome to go ahead and recap on those videos because I've shared everything to my wall. And you can also just go ahead and join the Facebook community on the page Facebook Online, The Dog Rescuers at Facebook Online. Okay, just go on Facebook and you can see The Dog Rescuers. Just join and like the page and you can see all of the videos and every chapter. We did 7 chapters and they're all in a video file there on that page as well, so you can catch up. I'm pretty excited because what's happened now, let's kind of delve into a little bit of a recap, shall we? Here's our little recap. What has happened is Abby is a little girl who is alone. Okay, she gets bullied. She goes home from school every night by herself and waits for her parents to come home. They're hardworking people. They're very, very busy just trying to make ends meet. So she works really hard at just trying to keep herself out of trouble. She makes herself noodles and a little bit of cereal and waits for them to come home. And the kids, they bully her. She's mismatched. She's got messy hair, like most of us do. And the kids are just mean. Well, Kiddo is a little dog. He's a roamer. Okay, he goes from town to town and he pretends he's lost to try to get some kid to rescue him. And then he goes to town. So in this case, he's been watching Abby get bullied. He's been watching over time and he's just been waiting for the right time to show up on her doorstep out of the blue. And he shows up and he then gets her convinced that she needs to find him a home. But Abby doesn't realize that this is all a setup. You see, Kiddo has special powers so he can send messages with his mind. And what he does is he gets an unsuspecting human like Abby to take him into her house, and then he tells all the other dogs in the area who are lost and confused, sad and abused, to come and get rescued too. So in the meantime, while this little girl is trying to rescue all these dogs, unbeknownst to her, she's actually being trained secretly to be a dog rescuer, a bona fide dog rescuer. But she needs help. So she gets help from her next door neighbor, Luke. Now, Luke is the coolest kid in the whole neighborhood. He's the guy that skateboards and all kinds of stuff. And he didn't even really pay attention to Abby before because she's younger than him. And he sees this fun little dog she all of a sudden has to find a home, and they become friends. And as Luke and Abby become friends, she's feeling a lot less lonely. She's feeling better about herself. She's getting out after school. She's not so worried about the bullies. So the first thing that Kiddo does is send out telepathic messages with his mind, and the first dog to beckon the call to come get rescued is a giant Great Pyrenees named Zeus. Zeus shows up on the scene in Abby's yard. Abby just figures, oh, I guess out of the blue, there's another dog I'm supposed to rescue. She doesn't know. Behind the scenes, Kiddo is the one sending the message and doing all this side work, right? It's incognito stuff. So she's like, all right, I guess I'll rescue you too. So her and Luke try to find these dogs their actual homes. The reason why Abby just gives Kiddo a nickname like Kiddo and doesn't really name him is she's afraid she's going to fall in love with him. And if she has to give him back, it's going to be too hard. So she just gives him a nickname. She doesn't want to get her heart into it. She doesn't realize that they're all becoming friends. What do you think, Roxy? Roxy loves this part of the story. So what happens next? Well, after trying diligently to find Kiddo and Zeus, their old owners, Luke and Abby realize, you know what? Maybe these guys aren't lost. They don't have owners. We're going to have to find them new homes. So they bathe them, and with Zeus, they vacuum them. Get all of that extra hair, and they bathe Kiddo, and they make him smell pretty, and they're like, you know what, guys? We're going to find you new homes, so we're going to get your act together. Well, that's all fine and dandy, but they're kind of hoping that they don't find them new homes. They would like to stay with Abby. They're growing attached to her. So in the meantime, Abby's feeling stronger about herself. So what happens? Oh my goodness. On the way to try to find new homes at the vets for Luke's dad, who's a vet, they try to find him new homes. They walk through the park, and guess what happens? They totally come upon the bullies. The dogs help keep the bullies away. Abby realizes, wow, these dogs are really, really spectacular. They protected me, but they also taught me I don't need to get bullied. And so here we are. Kiddo now has launched the Plan B mode of operation. What is that? That means he's using Abby's house while he trains her to be a dog rescuer. And he's using her house for all these dogs to come and get rescued. And tonight we're going to start to learn all these new dogs' stories and what makes them get to the point where they show up at Abby's yard to get rescued, right? But here the truth lies within. While they're busy rescuing us, we're actually rescuing them. Dogs rescue us, we rescue them. It's just all this kind of love. It's a love fest. So that's where we are now. We are now on book 2. And I wanted to let you know that after I finish reading you the first chapter of book 2, this is called Purrfectly Unleashed. I've got a little special video message from Mojo, okay? Mojo had a little knee surgery, and he's got a little message for all you guys when we're finished reading chapter 1 tonight. So you got to stick around for that. It's kind of special. All right, so let's get to chapter 1, Romeo's Rescue. Well, who is Romeo? Romeo is your roly-poly bulldog. Romeo was not your typical bulldog. Instead of craving dinner of tasty dog food nuggets, he'd rather knock over a trash can in the alley and eat rotten leftovers. Better yet, an old shoe or fish bone. His family called him Romeo because he loved hugs and kisses at the top of his head, and he sure did love kissing them back from his big jowls full of slobbering licks. He was brown, white, and tan color with a big belly. So he would wobble from side to side. They would look at him and affectionately say, Romeo, you're definitely built for love, not speed. His little legs did all they could to carry the big belly that would almost touch the ground. Yes, Romeo hobbled around, but despite this, he would not listen to his family, even when they tried to get him a healthier lifestyle. He couldn't seem to get the strength to change, and as irony would have it, no one would ever get close to hug him, which was the very thing he craved the most. It got to the point where all he would do was eat nothing but trash. Romeo was in the throes of addiction. It was holding him back from getting his true heart's desires. You see, his family loved him very much, but it was difficult to show it. They were forced to keep their distance due to the persistent green cloud of flatulence, or better known as farts. Yeah, the smell was so bad they couldn't go near him because Romeo was a farter. After years of no hugs from his family, and there's Romeo farting up a storm. See, his family wants to hug him, but boy, he's pretty stinky. And he can't seem to stop eating the garbage out of the trash. This is a cycle of problem here, isn't it? So after years of no hugs from his family, Romeo was getting very lonely. He was forced to replace the missing love and hugs with food in the trash cans. Over time, he was beginning to realize that he was eating his feelings. No matter how much trash and bad food he ate, it would not fulfill the emptiness in his life. His addiction to trash seemed to grow stronger, and what he could manage to resist or conquer on his own, it was becoming a vicious cycle. Every morning, he woke up determined to change. It was always the same old pep talk he would give to himself. You can do it if you believe, just like the big white dog in the sky teaches us. He would pray. But the alley was too tempting, and so were the trash cans behind Tamborelli's, the local Italian restaurant. The 3-day leftovers of fish bones were just too hard to resist. So Romeo found himself hanging face first in a trash can yet again, even after the pep talk. How you doing, Roxy? Oh, Roxy's hanging out of bed. There she is. She's so sleepy. She's hanging out of bed. One morning, as fate would have it, the garbage truck came and accidentally bumped the can which Romeo was in, and then bumped the lid shut, and then trapped him inside. The garbage man didn't even notice that he had trapped Romeo in the can along with all the garbage into the truck. See, Romeo's been tossed into the garbage truck without even realizing it. The garbage man is just kind of going along with his daily job of being a garbage collector. And he doesn't even realize that a bulldog is now in the garbage with him in the truck. The lid knocked Romeo out cold as they drove off with Romeo still in the garbage can. Oh my gosh, what happens next? As Romeo awoke, he found himself in the city dump. He was so intoxicated from the garbage fumes, he didn't even realize that he was trapped. All he saw were endless amounts of garbage heaps as tall as could be. He thought he had died, and he said to himself, I must be dead and at the Rainbow Bridge, because with all of this garbage for me to eat, this has got to be dog heaven. For 11 days straight, he sniffed and he ate to his heart's content. He lost all track of time. He loved that no one was telling him where to go or what to eat or what he shouldn't eat or what he should eat. This is great, he would say. No one to boss me around or tell me I have a problem, and I can fart anywhere, anytime, he said in a howl on top of the garbage heap. However, as time went on and on, the loneliness started to set in. He grew tired of talking to himself. He grew tired of farting all the time. He was bedraggled when he couldn't find his way out. Romeo finally hit rock bottom and realized there is no love here in the garbage. He dropped to his knees. He began to pray to the big white dog in the sky. I don't want to eat garbage anymore. I don't want to be trapped in the dump. All I really need is a good diet and to stop farting. All I really need is a hug. Please, 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 help me, please. Suddenly, in the middle of Romeo crying out for help, he heard a voice from above. Are you about done feeling sorry for yourself? The voice asked. Romeo looked towards the sky, but the sun shone in his eyes. He could barely make out the silhouette of a creature sitting on top of the tall fence that surrounded the perimeter of the dump. I've been watching you for 11 days now, said the voice. 11 days. Have I been here this long? My family must be worried, or maybe they are relieved I'm not around to fart on them, Romeo cried out to the voice from the glaring sunbeam. As a cloud started to cover the sun's super rays, Romeo could better see the big, bright creature as the sun's rays emitted from behind it, and he shouted, Have I crossed the Rainbow Bridge? Is that you, big white dog in the sky? Romeo said, terrified. See, he's saying his prayers on his knees. He's in the garbage heap. He can't get out. He can't seem to stop his addiction. He's crying out for help. So what is this that he's praying to? There was a long silence. And then the voice whispered wisely, "It took 11 days for you to finally hit rock bottom." Romeo shaded his eyes from the glare and scurried to see closer. While still on his knees, he had a moment of clarity and realized he was at a crossroads. To either get help or go deeper into dump life. If it's really you, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, big white dog in the sky. I know I haven't followed your rules. I know I've abused my body. I've ignored the wishes of my family. I farted all over them. I have not followed through on the duties of a good dog, but please, I'm truly sorry, and I ask for forgiveness and howl for a second chance. Please get me out of here. Please get me out of here because I'm confused. The Rainbow Bridge, it can't possibly be this lonely garbage heap, so I must be somewhere else. I don't know where, but I know it's stinky. And it can't possibly be dog heaven. Romeo prayed out loud over and over again. The cloud began to cover the sun's glare, and he could see the big white creature. To his surprise, it wasn't the big white dog in the sky like he had been taught since puppyhood. It was it was a big white cat. Oh no, a cat? This is going to mess with everybody. We're going to stop there and then we're going to continue on tomorrow night. But first, I wanted to share with you a little message from Mojo Wilson. Okay, he's in the other room and he's being puppy watched by his dad. So because we can't let him move his little leg too much since he had surgery on his knee. He's doing great though. So here you go. He wanted to say hi to all you guys.
Of all ages.
Here's a video message.
Of all ages. Mojo Wilson here. I heard you guys were a little worried about me because I had an operation on my knee. But I'm doing great. I'm sleeping, I'm eating my vitamins, and I'm doing all of the necessary things to get better real fast. So I can run, jump, play, and chase Roxy Roo and Apollo and OJ, the cats in the house. I'm excited because tonight is book 2. We're getting a chance to really get into some of these dog characters and especially all about my dad, Kiddo, who's actually the dog that gets all these other dogs together at Abby's yard to get rescued. My dad is Kiddo. I know, pretty cool. But you don't learn about my story until book 3. But in the meantime, enjoy book 2. We're going to start out here real soon. Glad you could make it. We're doing this every night at 8 p.m. Central Time from Nashville, Tennessee. Talk to you soon.
There you go, kids. Told you he was doing great. So tomorrow night, I'll see you again at 8 p.m. We're going to hit chapter 2 of book 2. The Dog Rescuers series, Purrfectly Unleashed, and you can catch up on the Facebook page, which is the Dog Rescuers online, right there on Facebook. Just have to push join, and you can see everything that you need to see to get all caught up. And also keep in mind that you need to wash your hands a lot right now and sing happy birthday twice and do it like this. Really wash them good for us, okay? And we're all going to stay healthy and happy and be good for your parents because they need you to be extra special, good to them right now. So have a good night and we'll see you tomorrow. Peace.